Hello everyone, I'm Mr. Coleman and welcome to my place. Today's lesson we're going to talk about the physical geography of the United States and Canada.
The Great American Experience is about so many things: bluegrass and beaches, snow-covered peaks and redwood forests, famous cities and big open skies. A country of road trips and wildernesses, the rainforests of the Pacific Northwest and the deserts of Death Valley, the brimming metropolis of New York City and jazz-loving New Orleans. America is a country filled with an overwhelming range of cultures, cuisines, and entertainment. Is it really worth the hype? The answer is a resounding yes. Peer over the edge and you'll confront the power and the mystery of this earth we live on. Once you see it, no other natural phenomenon quite compares. Sin City is a neon-fueled ride through slot machines, clinking martini glasses, and DJs spinning their hypnotic beats till dawn. Visit Paris, a tropical island, and the Wild West in one night, all for the price of a poker chip. Stunning coastal highways wind their way down the west coast from Canada to the Mexican border and offer a dramatic scenery that's hard to match anywhere else in the world. The Southwest is Native American country, with a fantastic array of sites covering both the distant past and the present. For living cultures, pay a visit to the Navajo Nation. Home to striving artists, hedge fund moguls, and immigrants from every corner of the globe, New York City is constantly reinventing itself. Do as every New Yorker does, hit the streets. You'll cross continents on even a short walk. What other country has such natural beauty coupled with fascinating cities to explore? And all the things that make travel so rewarding. There's nothing quite like hitting the open road to discover the unsung wonders and hidden corners of this inspiring country.
In the world, there are unique places, rich in culture, unspoiled nature, and congenial to travelers. Welcome to Canada, one of the world's largest and most livable countries. It is a culturally diverse nation, with people of British and French origins being predominant. Canada has a population of about 34 million people, over one-third of which live in the country's three largest cities, Montreal, Toronto, and Vancouver. Canada's sophisticated, cordial cities are national treasures, with major attractions. Every one of Canada's 10 provinces and 3 territories has something special to offer visitors. From wildlife tours and fishing in the north, to kayaking and nature tours in the Maritimes, from skiing and snowboarding in British Columbia, to enjoying the resorts and culture of Quebec, from canoeing and sightseeing in Ontario, to exploring unique areas and museums on the prairie. The variety of scenic beauty is absolutely breathtaking. The Horseshoe Falls in Niagara Falls, Ontario, is one of the world's most impressive and voluminous waterfalls. The Canadian Rockies is a vast protected wilderness area with numerous recreational and scenic attractions. Canada is a country with many blessings.
Now that I have your attention, let's talk about today's objectives. Today I will learn about the US and Canadian geography so I can learn more about physical features, prepare for exams. I will know I have it when I can discuss landforms about the United States and Canada. Here are some places and terms for discussion: the Appalachian Mountains, Great Plains, Canadian Shield, Rocky Mountains, Great Lakes, Mackenzie River, prevailing westerlies, Everglades, Loch, St. Lawrence Seaway. Looking at this map, can you find any of the 10 places on the map? Coastal Plain, Appalachian Mountain, Great Plains, Rocky Mountains, Canadian Shield, Great Lakes, landforms and resources. Vast lands. Canada ranks second behind Russia and the United States third in total land area. Together they fill 1/8 of the land surface of the earth. Both countries are rich in natural resources, fertile soils, ample water supplies, vast forests, and a variety of minerals. All these have attracted immigrants from around the world and allow both countries to develop into global powers. Okay, so next we're going to examine a map of the United States and Canada's resources and answer the following questions. Number 1, what resources seems to appear the most in the US? Number 2, which energy resource is more widespread in Canada than in the US? I believe the first question was, what resources seem to appear the most in the United States? North America produces most of the world's corn, meat, cotton, soybeans, tobacco, and wheat, along with a variety of other food and industrial raw material crops. Mineral resources are also abundant. The large variety includes coal, iron ore, bauxite, copper, natural gas, petroleum, mercury, nickel, potash, and silver. What about the second question? Which energy resource is more widespread in Canada than in the US? If you say hydraulic power or electricity, you are absolutely correct. Canada is the largest energy trading partner of the United States. Eastern Lowlands, also known as Coastal Plain, is a flat coastal plain that runs along the Atlantic Ocean and Gulf of Mexico. The Appalachian Highlands. Gently sloping Appalachian mountains have been eroded over time, considered to be over 400 million years old. Interior lowlands, flattened by glaciers, thousands of years ago. Terrain varies between lowlands, hills, lots of lakes and rivers. And there are 3 subregions: interior plains, Great Plains, and Canadian Shield. Let's take a look at the map. Where's the coastal plain, or known as Eastern Lowlands? East. What about the Appalachian Highlands? Appalachian Mountains. What about the interior lowlands? Western mountains, plateaus, and basins, Continental Divide, and Mount McKinney. The Western Mountains, also known as the Rocky Mountains, range 3,000 miles from Alaska south to New Mexico, thought to be around 80 million years old. The continental divide marks the separation between rivers flowing eastward and westward. Mount McKinley is North America's highest peak at 20,300 feet in Alaska. Here's a map of the 5 lakes. Guys, remember these. These are called the Great Lakes. Lake Superior, Lake Michigan, Lake Huron, Lake Ontario, and Lake Erie. These, along with the St. Lawrence River, form one of the world's most important shipping routes. Do you know what this is? Correct, Mississippi River. The Mississippi River is the continent's longest and busiest river system. Mackenzie River. Mackenzie River is Canada's longest river. The US and Canada have many different types of landforms. Refer to the map to answer the following question. What are 2 US states and 2 Canadian provinces found in the Great Plain? This is considered the Great Plain. For the 2 US states, if you said Montana, North Dakota, South Dakota, Wyoming, Nebraska, Kansas, Colorado, Oklahoma, Texas, or New Mexico, you are correct. What about the 3 provinces? Manitoba, Saskatchewan, Alberta. Here are some other features of Canadian US landforms. Again, the Rocky Mountains, which is a western mountain chain, extends over 3,000 miles from New Mexico to Alaska. Its highest point is called the Continental Divide, and it's 80 million years old. Great Plains, mostly treeless area, 4,000 feet above sea level, runs from southern Texas up through southern Canada. Its fertile soil allows crops to grow in abundance. Canadian Shield, rocky and flat, lies in northeast Canada, covers about 1.8 million square miles, encircles the Hudson Bay. Appalachian Mountains, eastern mountain chain, 1,600 miles from Alabama to Newfoundland, includes the Green Catskill and Smoky Mountains, 400 million years old. Almost every climate type can be found in the United States because it extends over such a large area. Canada's cold climate is related to its location in the far northern latitudes. Some places there is permafrost or permanently frozen ground. Prevailing westerlies, winds that blow from west to east in the middle latitudes, keep the summers warm and the winters mild along the Pacific coast and coastal mountains. The Everglades, found in southern Florida, is a tropical wet and dry climate, is a huge swampland that covers some 4,000 square miles. The climate of the United States and Canada varies due to the changes in latitude and a range of geographic features, including mountains and deserts. Generally, on the mainland, the climate of the U.S. becomes warmer the further south one travels and drier the further west until one reaches the west coast. By looking at this map, can you tell me what type of climate is Houston, Texas? What about Montreal, Canada? Name one city that has a subtropical dry summer. Human-environment interaction. Settlement. First inhabitants were nomads who moved from place to place. Archaeologists believe they migrated from Asia over the Beringia land bridge. Hunting and gathering was their primary method of food production before they began to cultivate crops. Overcoming distances. When the Europeans arrived and settled on the East Coast, they began to move inland. They carved out trails, including the Oregon and Santa Fe trails. They built networks of canals and North America's most important deep water ship route, the St. Lawrence Seaway. Ships were raised and lowered some 600 feet by a series of locks, sections of waterway with closed gates where water levels are raised and lowered. The Seaway enables huge ongoing ocean vessels to sail into the heartland of North America. The Transcontinental Railroad was completed across the U.S. in 1869. A Trans-Canada Railroad from Montreal to British Columbia was completed in 1885. These railroads helped to carry goods and passengers across country, promoting economic development and national unity, much like technology has done for the world today. In the early 20th century, with the development of the automobile, brought about the extensive highway system. U.S. has about 4 million miles of roads. Canada has about 560,000 miles of roads. Canada and the U.S. have their similarities along with differences. Whether negative or positive, most people have their own reasons for living in their environments. Based off of today's lesson, where would you live? In conclusion, we talked about the mountain ranges, Rocky Mountains, Appalachian Mountains, resources. Both U.S. and Canada have huge mineral and fossil fuel resources. Forest lands covers about a third in the U.S. and half of Canada. Climate and vegetation. Canada's climates and vegetation are located to its far northern location. The U.S. includes regions that are in almost every climate and vegetation zone. Major waterways, Mississippi, Missouri, and Ohio River system, Mackenzie River, Columbia River, Rio Grande River, Colorado River, St. Lawrence Seaway. Human-environment interaction. Movement westward altered the land in both the U.S. and Canada. Transportation networks help develop the land and economy of the region. That is our lesson for today. I hope you guys enjoyed the lesson. Now, please refer back to today's folder and complete the form for your assignment. That's all I have for today, guys. Enjoy your day.